Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Brewhouse Stage at Mountain Lakes Brewing Company in downtown Spokane, Washington, this is Wheat Wheat Don't Tell Me, the MLB monthly live beer quiz. Forget about Flavor Flav, taste a little of the Flavor Dave. I'm Dave Basaraba, and here is your host, Chris Sindrick.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody. It's an extra special July 3rd here at Mountain Lakes Brewing. In case you haven't heard, the Brewers Association has recently declared today, July 3rd, National Independent Beer Run Day. So make sure your beer run for the 4th includes beer from your local independently owned craft breweries. We have a great show for you tonight to kick off this July 4th holiday. Kevin Brockbank, president of Spokane Community College, will be here later in the show to play Not My Beer. And later tonight, musical guest, the Pickering Simmons Project, will be here to provide you with some local vocals and acoustic ambiance. If you'd like to be a contestant on the show, it's very easy. Just stop by Mountain Lakes Brewing on the first Wednesday of the month prior to the show, and we will put the caller on your phone. It's time to welcome our first contestant of the night. Hello, you're on Wheat Wheat Don't Tell Me. Tell us your name and something about yourself.
How you doing, Chris? My name's Anthony Campitelli, and I have a pet duck.
You have a pet duck.
I do.
You do. And what's the duck? Yeah, what's the duck's name?
His full name is Edgar A. Quackenbush.
Oh, Edgar A. Quackenbush. And so where does your duck live?
He lives in my apartment, and he wears a diaper.
And okay, that was going to be my next question.
Yes, sir.
And do you hand make diapers, or do they sell duck diapers? Or
I buy them from a lady online that special makes duck diapers.
And it's like Daffy diapers?
He looks like Daffy. He's a black duck.
That's awesome. Well, welcome to the show, Anthony. Let me introduce you to our panel of brewers from the Inland Northwest Craft Brewers Association. Ladies and gentlemen, from River City Brewing, where Colonel Crusher did it in the brew house with a mash paddle, please welcome Chris Anderson.
Sup, players? Heyo.
From Mountain Lakes Brewing Company, a man who discovered how to put a maple bar donut into a beer glass. Please welcome Tim Hilton. Also from Mountain Lakes Brewing Company, where you'll never find yourself up a beer without a paddle. Please welcome your announcer, Dave Basaraba. Well, again, welcome to the show, Anthony. You're going to be playing Whose Beer this time. Dave is going to read 3 quotations from recent beer news. If you can correctly identify just 2 of them, you will win our prize, free beer and a pint glass. Are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, let's hear your first quote.
The taste was like barley wine, vinegar, and cider. It was acidic. We're just hoping some of the yeast survived.
So said the owner of St. James Brewery of Long Island in reference to a beer that was found on the 1886 shipwreck, the SS Oregon. What does the St. James Brewery plan to do with that 133-year-old yeast?
Brew beer with it?
Yes, you're correct. Yes, St. James Brewery owner Jamie Adams, who has been diving on the SS Oregon shipwreck for 20 years, debuted his own reincarnation of the 1800s era English ale named Sea King at the New York State Brewers Fest earlier this year. Hopefully, it tastes a little better than the 133-year-old bottle did.
We're hoping.
They're hoping. Yes. Here is your second quote.
Hold my beer.
So says Charlize Theron in this 60-second commercial featuring the Oscar-winning actress as she takes on a bar full of people in a bunch of bar games, all with a pint of what Macro Brewery's Reserve Copper Lager in hand. A Reserve Copper Lager from a Macro Brewery. Yes, one of the big ones.
I really have no idea.
It rhymes with Budweiser.
Oh, hey, really? Budweiser.
It's Budweiser's, yes. Budweiser's limited edition, thank God, Reserve Copper Lager was created to celebrate the 85th anniversary of Prohibition and Budweiser's, perhaps unfortunate, survival through it.
It's okay. Good thing there's plenty of words that rhyme with it. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Here is your third quote.
Aged 5 seconds.
This quote is in reference to how long a new white whiskey will be aged when produced by what popular red, white, and blue can macro brewery?
Pabst.
It is. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon Whiskey. Will soon be available to those of you looking for another way to wake up with your temples pulsing. This white whiskey, a.k.a. moonshine, will be available sometime this summer. Just in time as I was looking for the perfect Boilermaker partner for my favorite lawn mowing beer.
Will that come in tall boys as well?
I hope so. 16, maybe 72 ounce. It's kind of like a new Edward Scissor, the tape it to your fist type thing, right?
Their beer is so fantastic, I can't wait for the 5-second aged whiskey.
Yes, 5 seconds. Who doesn't like white moonshine on a hot summer day?
It's hot.
5 seconds. I think that my wife said that to me on my wedding night.
Let's find out how.
That's why she calls him moonshine.
Let's find out how Anthony did with their quiz. Dave?
I think he got 3 out of 3 with a little help from the panel. That makes him a winner.
All right. Woo.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Anthony. You have won our prize, free beer and a pint glass. Thanks for playing Who's Beer this time. Now, a question for our panelists. A question about some recent beer news for you. Here's your quote. I'm feeling great. I went from 292.5 pounds to 248.5 pounds. I lost 44 pounds. Not a single cheat. Said Del Hall, who works at 50 West Brewing Company in Cincinnati, Ohio, in reference to what?
Leg amputation?
Now, not a leg amputation.
That's the quickest way to lose.
That is.
What is the quote again, Chris?
He says, I'm feeling great. I went from 292.5 pounds to 248.5 pounds. I lost 44 pounds, not a single cheat. This is a brewer, Del Hall, who works at 50 West Brewing Company in Cincinnati, Ohio. In reference
I think I know the answer. But
you do?
Was it a goiter being removed?
No, it was not. It was not a goiter.
Is he drinking Michelob Ultra?
No, well, he was drinking beer.
I'm guessing it was a beer fast.
It was a beer fast. Yes, that's correct. Yes, Del fasted for 46 days during Lent exclusively on a variety of beers. He was inspired by the fasting rituals of the 18th century Bavarian monks. Del would drink up to 5 beers a day, usually starting around lunchtime. On top of losing all that weight, get this, Del's cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar all went down. Let's hear it for Del.
Beer only.
Woo! Interesting piece of information is I actually just tried this. A couple of weeks ago, I decided I would take 7 days and I would only drink beer and water.
I was noticing you're looking very svelte.
I've actually...
Very svelte.
I gained 44 pounds, but no, I about day 4.5, I quit. I told my wife, I'm done. I can't do. I always thought like the people that built the pyramids, they were fed beer and onions, and I thought, well, hell, that would have been pretty good. And I realized like that really sucked. That would have been kind of hell.
What if you tried the same thing but with hamburgers too?
Well, I think that might be better. If I add, the hamburgers might be better. Might be better with that. Well, that wraps up the first part of our show. We'll now take a break and be back in a few with Bluff the Drinker.
Welcome back to the Mountain Lakes Brewing Company Brewhouse Stage in downtown Spokane, Washington. We're playing Wheat Wheat, Don't Tell Me, the MLB Beer Quiz Show with your host, Chris Cindric.
All right, we're playing tonight with our beautiful panel of brewers. Chris Anderson from River City Brewing. And from Mountain Lakes Brewing, Tim Hilton and Dave Basaraba. Right now, it's time for the Wheat Don't Tell Me game called Bluff the Drinker. If you would like to be a future contestant on Wheat Don't Tell Me, please stop by Mountain Lakes Brewing prior to each show, and we will make you the Belgian lace on our clean beer glass.
Ooh. Don't talk like that, Chris.
Kind of sexy.
Oh.
It sounds a little dirty.
Hello. You are on Wheat Don't Tell Me. Tell us your name and something about yourself.
Hello. My name is Julie. Not a whole lot to tell about myself. I don't own a duck.
No.
No, turns out. But I do enjoy beer.
Would you adopt a
Drinking
duck
beer.
if one was available?
It's a possibility.
Do you
never,
like ducks?
never say never.
I've got a line on a duck.
I mean, let's talk later. Yeah.
So you drink a lot of beer, and do you have a favorite, like, there's so many beers now. Is there something that's like your new go-to beer?
Well, being here tonight, actually, I really like the Nats Rainbow. Delicious.
Yes.
Delicious.
Not the strawberry basil. Yes, that's a
Something
very...
Tim knows about.
Yes.
That was named, my daughter, Natalie, named that beer. She said, can you make a unicorn beer with strawberry and basil? So
And you did.
we did, yeah.
And how does she like it?
She can't get through more than 3 or 4 pints.
Really?
She's only 8. But,
Yeah,
She'll get there. It's fine.
Exactly.
She's got to work up.
Yeah.
Right. That's why you have the half pours.
She
right?
goes to the Pilsners after that because it's a little heavy.
Right. I got you. Yeah. And then what's her favorite from River City? Is she drinking?
She's all about the River City Red.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
It's a very good choice. Very good choice.
Well, welcome,
terrible
Julie.
beer.
You are here to play our game where you must tell truth from fiction. Your topic, as always, on this show is beer. In observance of the 4th of July, specifically, your beer topic will focus on beer and American history. Our panelists are each going to tell you a story related to how beer has influenced American history. Pick the one who's telling the truth, and you'll win our prize, free beer in a pint glass.
I do enjoy that.
Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Our first story comes from Tim Hilton.
Many people know that Betsy Ross is credited with creating the U.S. flag. But what many people don't know is if Betsy had it her way, the flag would look a little different than it does today. Based upon descriptions of similar decorations by the Continental Congress, it is assumed that when it comes to the colors of the flag, the red stands for valor, the blue stands for justice, and the white stands for purity. Betsy Ross was a Quaker and grew up with strict discipline, simple dress, and believed purity was law. She had 16 siblings, only 9 of which survived childhood. Betsy's youngest sister, Tippy, was the family embarrassment, a lot like Dave. Frequently, Tippy was found drinking, smoking, and rebel-rousing at the local taverns, earning her the nickname Tipsy.
She sounds fun.
She was pretty fun.
That's right. We're fun people.
She was a hooker. No,
She really was?
Like I said, she sounds fun.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Wow. All right. Tipsy was extremely jealous of Betsy's ability to sew. Her envy raged when her sister was commissioned by George Washington himself to sew the first ever U.S. flag. The night before General Washington was to come see the final product, Tipsy held a bash.
She was a hooker.
I think she was just jealous of Betsy's ability to make money with her clothes on.
Great sewing.
So she held a bash in the sewing warehouse where the flag was laying out on a table. During the evening, a full grog of ale was spilled across the canton. That's the stars panel of the flag, which Betsy had made white for purity with a circle of blue stars. In a panic, Tipsy replaced the canton with the only cloth she could find, making the field of the canton blue and the circle of stars white. The next morning, when General Washington stood before Betsy and examined the flag, Betsy looked with dismay at the new Canton pattern and asked George, "Do you like the blue?" He did, and the rest is history.
All right.